tonight we have a very important matter to discuss. And what that important matter to discuss is how to build $1,000,000 brand. How to build $1,000,000 brand. As you can see here, I said the home business world runs amok with amateurs. If you master the principles I'm going to share with you tonight, you will be differentiated in the marketplace and command more of the available money to you. And specifically, I really just want to teach you guys, I really just want to share with you some of what it is that I've figured out that has allowed me to build a more widely recognized brand in the industry than pretty much, most of like the most old school, long-standing, guys and gals that have been in the industry, except, I'm kind of young, I've done it in literally 3 years. So there's definitely a few golden nuggets, I'd say, that you're going to be able to glean from tonight's presentation. So here's the question. Do you currently have a brand? It's a very important question to ask yourself. How many people out there know your name? If one of your prospects was to hear your name, do they associate high-end value with it? Meaning, if somebody hears your name, is there already a value associated with it? Does your name stand for authority? Somebody hears your name. Do they recognize your name standing for authority? Does your name stand for credibility? Could your name become its own selling point for your products, services, and business? Do you think most people perceive you as an expert in your field? Do most people perceive you as an expert in your field? And in this case, we're talking about the home-based business industry. I'm not talking about a brand. You could be the best chemist or whoever in the world, and it really doesn't matter, because when it comes to making money in the home-based business industry, you have to craft a brand that really stands for leadership and really stands for professionalism, and that's what I'm going to teach you how to do tonight. So a successful brand equals yes to every single one of those questions that I just asked you. So if you have a successful brand, you can pretty much say yes to every single one of these questions. And read these again, because they're pretty powerful, except my my slide thing does not want to go backwards. Thanks, I really appreciate that. I really want you to read these. How many people out there know your name? If one of your prospects was to hear your name, do they associate high-end value with it? Does your name stand for authority? Does your name stand for credibility? Could your name become its own selling point for your products, services, and business? Do you think most people perceive you as an expert in your field? I want you to literally ingrain that into your psyche, ingrain it in you, because this is what we need to develop for you. This is the brand that we need to create for you, so that every single one of those things that I just shared with you equals yes. All of them equal yes. Moreover, to the degree of status and authority your brand has equals how much more money that you can command for your services, products, or businesses. Okay? To the degree of status and authority that your brand has equals how much more money you can command for your services, products, and businesses. And I could probably also add in there how easy you can command it. Because if you have an extremely authoritative and recognized brand, then you can command, you can really command these things a lot easier, and people actually will jump out of their seat, to get the chance to work with you. So I want to ask you another question. What is the highest paid brand on planet Earth? If I was to ask you guys right now, somebody tell me what you think the highest paid brand on planet Earth is right now. If I can get over to Nike. Yeah, I don't know. No, give me a genre. Those are companies. So we're seeing Google, Jordan Computers selling, government. See, Facebook. Those, I don't know if those are brands so much. Give me a genre. Trump, Adidas. Man, I gotta get this questions things here. A lot of good answers. A lot of good answers. In fact, a lot of these are falling into what the highest paid brands for people on planet Earth actually are, but they are pretty much authorities slash celebrities. You know, a company like Adidas isn't really a person, so I guess I could have been a little bit more specific. What's the highest paid brand for people on planet Earth? And it's pretty much authorities slash celebrities. Great example. Do you think Dr. Phil is the best psychologist on the planet? I mean, how many people, raise your hand right now if you think Dr. Phil is the best psychologist on the planet. I want to see whose hand is raised. Where are these hands? No, I'm not seeing many hands. So yeah, Dr. Phil is not the best psychologist on the planet, hardly, but he probably is the highest paid one. Period and end of story. The reason why is because of his brand as an authority. So even though he's hardly the best psychologist on the planet, he's got to be, if not the highest paid one of the highest paid ones, only because of his brand. And that's what I want to help you do today. I want to help you make more money by creating a better brand. Most people have no brands. There's no distinct value that is attached to their name. Okay? You must develop this, and we're going to talk about how. They're just a random face in the sea, or nothing more than a telemarketer slash spammer when they contact their prospects to pitch their opportunity or products. Because if you don't really have a brand, what differentiates you from, seriously, a telemarketer? I mean, you're calling somebody on the phone. What differentiates you from a telemarketer if you've got no brand? So, again, that's key. They have no trust previously established. A brand is synonymous for trust. They will struggle harder to get the sale than you really have to if you're doing this right. And it's simple to build a high-quality brand on the internet, but this is the majority of people. Now, that's exactly why there is so much opportunity if you're playing the branding game the right way. Because once you craft this brand, it stays with you forever, and it sways money to your corner. So let's get into it. Part one of your $1 million brand really has to do with creating high perceived value internet real estate. It has to do with creating high perceived value internet real estate. Think of it like this. If you showed up to a guy, get out of my face. If you showed up to a guy who lives in a trailer park, who wants to teach you how to make money, how credible would you feel he is? You know, just think about that for a second. You show up to a guy, he lives in a trailer park, he wants to teach you how to make money. How credible would you feel that he is? Now, what if you showed up to a guy living in a beachfront mansion who said he could show you how to make money? Would you feel like he's a little bit more credible? This is the funny part. What if it was the same guy? What if it was the same stinking guy, but the only difference was the real estate? Which one is going to sway you more? Be honest. You show up to the same guy, except he's in a trailer park, and then he's in a beachfront mansion. Which one is going to sway you more? And the answer is devastatingly obvious. Websites work in this exact same way, okay? You must have cleanliness and power conveyed through your internet real estate. It's the only way to have a true successful brand. And I'm going to teach you some things that hurt / stagnate your brand, okay? First of all, old-looking, cheesy websites, they don't cut it anymore. Okay, a lot of people think that you can just show up on the internet and you can go use some free website builder and it's populating ads on the side of your page or this or that or any crap like that. You may even have a website like that right now. If that's the case, you are ruining the amount of conversion that you could get. Okay, like literally ruining it. You can't have old-looking, cheesy websites. The market has just shifted too much. Okay, what people are really looking for more than anything nowadays is websites that they can trust. Okay, so how you want to create your websites, and I'm going to give you some clear examples in a bit, is your websites really need to be clean and professional and have the feel of an editorial. It has to feel like it's giving you something, like it's giving you and presenting you information. It can't feel like, you know, it's trying to take from you. And that's what a lot of those, like I say, no money bills flying everywhere and crap like that, I mean, all those websites feel like is take, 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 take. Like they want your money. So free website builders that look like you're stuck in the 90s, no good. Replicated sites. This is kind of a tough one, and because it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, replicated sites, well, if you're using any kind of company replicated sites, like for your network marketing company or anything like that, forget about it. Replicated sites are devastating to your brand. I mean, those things, they don't have a brand. You've got nothing with a replicated site. If you're using a system, okay? Now, a system can be effective for lead generation. A system can be effective for doing the things that lead to making money in network marketing and in online marketing, but, here's the big but, they don't work to build brands, okay? They don't work to build brands. If you have a replicated site that everybody else has too, it's great if you're just starting out, just trying to learn how to drive traffic. You know, it's great if you're just getting familiar with online marketing, if you just want to start getting leads fast and just driving traffic, stuff like that. It's effective. It works. It's a path to follow where you don't have to reinvent the wheel. But ultimately, you have to begin building your brand. Replicated sites just won't do it because it's a replicated site. There's nothing unique really about it. Even if you put your own videos up and stuff like that, eventually, if you want to have a brand with, you know, bigger players and more people, you know, the market's a pretty educated market. We know when a replicated site is a replicated site. You know what I mean? So no matter what way you look at it, you know, you can't hide that forever. So duplicate content, replicated capture pages, they may work, but they don't build brands. Again, distorted images, this is something that's so common. People overlook this stuff. If you've got messed up images, so you're building a lead capture page, or you're building a website, and you've got this little, you know, dinky looking error with one of your images, or you've got difficult to read web copy, or clashing colors, like you've got yellow font on a blue page, and I mean, people literally do this stuff. All of it is a giant no. It is all a massive waste, and you are literally going to destroy your brand with any of this stuff that I'm sharing with you right now. It's, I mean, distorted images. It has to be flawless. You literally have to feel, look, and think like never make a mistake. Like that's just the way you've got to live. So your marketing must be clean and concise. It must shimmer with professionalism. Okay. Think editorial over advertisement. Why do you think so many of my pages have little graphics? I mean, in fact, if you look at the capture page that we just launched Get Traffic 3.0 with, did you see a graphic on that entire page? In fact, we were doing split tests, and the page that we ended up going with was the one that just had a video and just had an opt-in box. That was it. It was a video and an opt-in box, because you want to think editorial over advertisement. Editorial over advertisement. Editorial over advertisement. Study marketing. Some of the best marketing that you'll see out there right now, if you go and you look at like major websites like Forbes.com, go look at like the Motley Fool, major investment website. These guys, the ads that are literally running on the side of their page right now look like newspaper articles. The banners look like newspaper articles. I mean, think about it. If that's what the biggest advertisers in the world are doing, the best in the business, they literally make their advertisements look like editorials. What do you think we should be doing? You know, we shouldn't be running around like amateurs, like dollar bills flying everywhere. We should model. And I think a lot of people, you know, think that, you know, to have a brand or to be professional, you need to have all these crazy graphics and this and that. And it's just really not the case. The cleaner and the more concise that any of your internet real estate is, the better. The most that you want is you just want it to shimmer. It should have a certain shimmer of professionalism. It should not have like a over-the-top graphic. No, it just has to be so clean that it shimmers. That's really kind of, you know, how I want to get that feel from all of my websites. Let's put it that way. Let me check something here real quick. I just want to make sure that I am hooked up to check.
How's that, guys? Is that a better sound quality there? Probably, right? Check, 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 check. Hello. Hello. Should be a better sound quality. It's better, right? Hooked up to the mic. I mean, when would it not be hooked up? When would it not be better hooked up to the mic? Oh my goodness. Is my computer just like dying to freeze tonight? Everything's freezing. Get out of here. All right, I'm just going to assume that it is a better sound quality considering that it's not letting me ask like questions. Okay, good. Go back. Okay, boom. Big internet real estate dues. This is what you want to do with your websites, okay? Hire and work with proven designers who have clean designs, good track records, okay? They represent your house on the internet. This is the house that your prospects are showing up to, okay? You don't want your prospects showing up to a trailer park when you don't have to have it be that way on the internet. It's so simple to create marketing that shimmers with professionalism. Do not clutter your website, okay? The main point of your sites is your visitor in the solution to their problem. And I don't think a lot of people really understand that. Like, people think like, I need to build a brand, it's about me. Well, not totally. The point of your sites is not about you. It's not for you to feel good because your face is plastered everywhere. It's about your visitor and the solution to their problem, okay? Your visitor and the solution to their problem. So the message slash benefit of what you have to offer should be extremely clear to your visitors the second they hit your page, okay? Anything that pulls away from that has potential to be a detriment. So that means if you've got, a picture on the left, a picture on the right, some family photo or whatever the heck it might be, and this is a lead capture page, you are potentially ruining your conversion rate because the whole point is the visitor, the solution to their problem. So you want people to hit your page and be instantly drawn to the benefit of what they're going to get the second they hit your page. So the second they hit it, their eyes just naturally draw to the benefit. And it's really interesting to do this exercise. Watch the first thing that your eyes look at every single time you hit a website. Just begin to notice, where do my eyes go? What happens when you load a squeeze page? Look at other people's squeeze pages. Watch the first place that your eyes go, okay? If your eyes do not go to the main message slash benefit, first and foremost, like something of value for why you should be at this website, then whoever has set that website up is doing it wrong. They're doing it wrong. And I have done so much marketing where I literally I have all these ideas and this and that, and then we build the website, and the second I see it, my eye will just dart to one thing over the other things, and I'll totally scratch the whole project. I'll be like, nope, doesn't work. Doesn't work. I'm being drawn to not the main message slash benefit for the visitor, and I scratch the whole thing, and I literally keep going until we have I've matched that vision. And it's just like the second I hit that page, in a split second, my eyes are drawn to the main benefit, and it kind of just feels good. I don't know, I've kind of got a good feeling for marketing at this point. So that's a really powerful trick, though. I mean, it's a really powerful trick. Just notice where your eyes are going when you hit websites, and they should really match the main benefit, and message, and you'll be in good shape. So be ruthless with making the designer match the vision you have inside your head. Don't go easy or succumb to anything less than your vision of professionalism. And I know sometimes if you're working with a designer, they'll A designer wants to get done with their work the first draft. Okay, they love nothing more than first time out to bang it out, because it takes them less time. But don't just settle. Always be ruthless with making the designer match the vision that you have inside your head. So if you have a vision for how you want something to be, and oftentimes it helps to give them a model, like point them to a website, point them to an example of something that's working extremely successfully, and say, we want to model this. This is how we want it to be. Be ruthless with it. So here's some resources for top designers to hire. These two guys at the top, minisitefrog.com and designgururyan.com, are some really great designers, and anything you do with them is going to be just high quality work. They're on the higher end of design, but they're pretty much like some of the best. Warriorforum.com, this is a great place to interview designers and check past work. Or one of the things you want to do is check past work when finding designers here. What the Warrior Forum is it's pretty much just the internet's #1 largest internet marketing community, and you're able to find an incredible amount of designers, programmers, any type of person that you could ever need to work with to do stuff in your business, you can find at the Warrior Forum. And I think that you should just create an account here anyway, because you'll get an incredible amount of value out of it. Odesk.com. This is a great place to find talent from overseas, super cheap. One of our designers that we found from Odesk.com, we pay $3 an hour. I mean, $3 an hour. Are you serious? That is ridiculous. And these guys and gals are really good. I mean, you can really find some great designers. In fact, some of the design work that you guys have probably seen from our team has come from these guys that we found, where literally you can pay $3-4 an hour. So there's really no excuse for, if you have a vision, if you have an idea, if there's something you want to do for your business, you want to create a specific website, you want to create your own capture page, you want to create your own whatever, you can do it. Okay, you've got all the resources right here to go out and do it and bring it to life and bring it to fruition. It is that uniqueness to the sites and the things that you create that differentiates you in the marketplace. So again, if you want a brand, you can't have a cookie cutter, replicated website forever. So let me give you some examples of some really clean designs to model. This is actually Katie Freiling's capture page that she used for the Unified Tribe, and I think she might still be using it for the Unified Tribe. I'm not sure. I actually consulted Katie pretty heavily on the creation of this capture page, and she actually took the model from one of our other capture pages and also uses our designer. So this capture page works so successfully for several different reasons, and this really had an epic conversion rate, this whole capture page. One of the things I want you to see, though, if you look at this, if you were to imagine, the arrows, my arrows that I drew on here for you guys, were all gone. The first thing that your eyes really do is you sense that there's something interesting on the page, but your eyes are really gravitated towards this red headline at the top. The eyes just go to the red headline. So you see case study. 27-year-old girl generates 20 to 100 plus free leads per day on autopilot, makes over $31,958 in less than 2 hours, and builds a 6-figure income in under a year without spending a dime on advertising, all for free from social media. So I kind of helped Katie come up with this headline. The reason why this headline works so effectively is because, first and foremost, boom, case study. I love that. I love it. Case study. First thing you're thinking is, what do we think when we hear of a case study? You're about to get a complete download and digest of some sort of study, okay? But then the next line is really what kills it. 27-year-old girl, and we hit with all of the main features of this case study. So you're about to figure, essentially it's saying that you're going to figure out how to do all of this, but saying it in a way that's kind of like appeals to like our scientific mind, like case study. That's a really powerful thing. Again, a lot of what you do is in your language, And a lot of times people think that branding might just have to do with the look of something, but it also has to do with the feel of something and the professionalism of something. So just the mere fact that her headline is kind of that good totally makes the feel of this website, the feel of this capture page, like that much better. If the headline stunk, then it would still look really good, but it would be missing the meat and potatoes. Like it would be missing the actual substance that makes the marketing effective. So it just can't be all look and feel. You know, you have to have the substance as well. However, the reason why I circled this down here is because we have found that you significantly increase your opt-in rates when you give people a visceral look and feel of what it is that they're going to get when they opt in. Okay, so if you want to be generating leads, and obviously you wouldn't be on the line here tonight if you didn't want to be generating leads, you significantly increase your opt-in rate when you give a visceral and visual representation of your lead magnet. Okay, so Katie created the Social Media Wealth Manifesto. It's a manifesto that she was giving away in this capture page. Okay, that's what she's giving away. And then, you know, a lot of times people might just leave it at that and they'll just have this all be copy. Adding this little box though, this little visual representation of the manifesto so that people literally, you know, look at what it is they're about to get, skyrockets. It absolutely skyrockets conversion rates. Also, this little hand-drawn, like sort of like look and feel down here, again, circling the Get Instant Access button with sort of this hand-drawn looking thing. Another thing we found to skyrocket conversion rates. And your call to action, as always, you need to have an amazing call to action. Get access to the entire Social Media Manifesto, which includes a simple 6-step get started now action plan by filling in your name and email in the box below. That's really a fantastic call to action, which includes a simple 6-step, which is very specific and curiosity arousing. Get started now action plan. That's a major benefit. Most people just want to get started now by filling in your name and email below. And this capture page had like a 55% conversion rate, which is just absolutely fantastic. So that's one. Here's another really clean design that we've been crushing it with in a lot of different places. We've tested this design in PPC. We've tested it on Facebook. And at first, you know, I was kind of skeptical because, you know, I've been used to creating all video capture pages for a while now, and we decided to test out some new things and really have a different kind of capture page that wasn't really based on video, that didn't really look like a lot of stuff out there. So I didn't really know how it was going to perform. And to my surprise, it actually crushed it. I mean, this thing was performing over 20% in PPC and other areas that we were testing it. But I want you again to look and see how visual we made it. So boom, brand new free online network marketing training. And then again, clear main benefit, 5 simple steps to grow your network marketing business that finally end hassling friends and family while getting more money and free time to enjoy your lifestyle. Okay, so 5 simple steps to grow your network marketing business that finally end hassling friends and family while getting more money and free time to enjoy your lifestyle. That's pretty much what people want. Clear main benefit, clear call to action, fill in your information here. But again, what makes this so powerful? If this e-cover representation was missing right here, if this visual representation was missing, I guarantee you the performance of this capture page would be significantly lower. But just by being able to see the 5 steps, right? They see the book, they see the CD, they see, you know, what it is they're about to get. It makes you want it so much more. So again, look at these, kind of just get the feel for what really good marketing looks like, and you want to model your stuff after that. You don't want all the things that I said are no good. You know, 1990s looking websites, errors, you know, bad colors, all that sort of stuff. You don't want it. Just remember, your brand is ultimately based off the uniqueness of what you contribute to the marketplace. Okay, your brand is ultimately based off the uniqueness of what you contribute to the marketplace. So simply having original content and clean designs instantly sets you apart from 99% of the people using cookie cutter stuff or copycat systems. So it really is easy to differentiate in our industry. It's really easy, and it's very simple to differentiate in our industry. If you follow just that one first tip I gave you, then the whole front end of your business, the house that all your prospects walk into, you're already going to be differentiated. So let's get into some advanced branding advice. Have you guys ever thought about getting your own logo? I mean, seriously, like, why not? Get your own logo. 99designs.com is pretty much the easiest place to get a logo design for your name, your company name, your team name, products, system, coaching, etc. Anything you create, okay? Any project you're working on. If you want to brand your team, why not get a logo for your team? If you want to brand yourself, why not get a logo for yourself and your own name and your blog? If you want to brand a product you create, why not get a logo for it, okay? I mean, it doesn't make sense. You should go do this. Like, go to 99 Designs and get a logo for yourself for some aspect of your business that you want to brand. And to this day, I still get all of my logos from 99designs.com. I mean, all of the major blockbusters that we've rolled out, Launch Formula, Get Traffic 3.0, our Empowered Entrepreneurs logo that we use everywhere, a whole bunch of other ones, all came from 99designs.com. One hint I will give you with 99designs.com, I would go with whatever their recommended is, like their like basic recommendation. It's just going to get you the most designers competing to give you the logo. And really what you have to do, and this is after getting a lot of work from 99 Designs, this is some valuable insight, you really have to work with the designers kind of closely. So what's going to happen is when you create a project at 99designs.com, the reason why this website is just so cool is because a whole bunch of other a whole bunch of other designers actually compete for your design. So you'll say, hey, I want a logo, this is what I want it to look like, this is what I want it to say, and now you're going to have all these different designers submitting logos, competing to get your business. So you get to pick one designer out of however many are competing for your logo, and you only pay for the logo that you want. So rather than hiring like a logo company and getting 3 revisions, you know what I mean? Like you get a logo and 3 revisions or whatever the heck it might be. In 99 Designs, you've got like dozens of designers competing, you know, sending new logos, this, that. So that's good and all, but what I usually do, how I really find just the best possible logos and why I'm always very happy with the logos I get from 99 Designs is because once I find a designer or see a designer or multiple designers that are submitting logos and they're kind of, I just like their style. It may not be what I'm looking for, but I like their style. I think they're talented. I coach them. I send them a personal message and I say, hey, this is what I want you to do. Hey, what would it look like if you did this, if you did that? What about making it more like this, more like that? So I get in there and I really start project managing those designers, and it really fine-tunes the whole vision. So be very active in your participation and your feedback that you give to your designers, and it's really going to help your vision, you know, manifest the best that you possibly can. Number 2, create a company mission statement. Okay, all real companies do this. Every real company I know of pretty much has a mission statement. You can see ours here. Okay, if you go to www.empowered-entrepreneurs.com, that's our mission statement. Now, we put this mission statement on the bottom of all of our sites. We put it in our communities, etc. Okay, so we make this mission statement readily available for people to find. Prospects can find it easy, and it sets us apart as a real company. And you know, I have not seen many people doing this. I don't really see many people truly setting up a real brand in our industry with their own logo, with their own mission statement around their team or company, whatever it might be, I'm telling you right now, that thing will make you stand out. You will look like a professional. If people hit your website and they see your mission statement, it's just kind of ingrained in us to like, associate that with top-notch companies, with high-quality companies, etc. Plaster your logo when applicable, but don't try to flash it in people's faces just because you have it. And this is something that I learned from experience, okay? Early on, when we first created our logo, I thought that, if I had my logo everywhere, then I would be, much more professional. So we put our logo at the top of our sales page. We put our logo all over the place. But luckily, we tested. I wasn't, just kind of like ignorant enough. I had an idea. This might create conversions, but I wasn't dumb in the sense that I just wanted everybody to see me and my cool logo. You know what I mean? That really wasn't what it was about. So I tested, and I found that the logo actually decreased my conversions on any of my sales pages. When I put that logo on there, it like totally decreased my conversions. And it's probably because, if people see a logo, then they're automatically going to assume you're trying to sell them something, which on a capture page, you're not trying to sell them something. You're trying to get an email, okay? So it's actually counterproductive to have a logo. And again, this is just general groundwork, okay? This has to be tested. Everything has to be tested. Everything that I'm sharing with you is just, a framework, but what I found from my experience is that logos on capture pages actually lowered our conversion rate. But when you put a logo on your team site or a logo on your, a community you have or on a product, or when you position the logo in the right place, then it blows up your brand. So some examples. On your blog, great place to have your logo, because what's your blog all about? It's all about giving and content, and people come to your blog and they see a really well done logo. It builds your brand. You're not asking for anything, you're giving, with your content. In your videos as a bumper or ending, oftentimes if you have a video, and this is one thing right off the bat that will differentiate you so much. Do you guys realize how cheap it is to get a bumper made for your videos? You could have a really well done bumper, which what that means is it's just an intro. For any video you make, like all of our Get Traffic 3.0 videos, that first 10 seconds where the music comes on and it has the Get Traffic 3.0 logo and it's all like nice and cool looking, whatever, that's a bumper. That whole thing probably would cost you less than $100 to have one of those made for your business, for yourself. And then every video that you ever produce, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's a blog video, whether it's a video that you upload to Facebook, any video you ever produce, you put that bumper on it, and boom, it instantly kind of like rockets your brand, your video creation, your expertise into another level, because most people don't have that. So again, I'm just telling you, create a video bumper for your videos to give you a special sauce a special sauce feel when someone watches your videos, etc. That's a big actionable item, guys. You should write that one down. Like, I know a lot of you have probably created a video before on the internet. You've probably uploaded something to YouTube at some point, whatever it might be. You want to write that down, because that is key. You can get a bumper. I would post on the same places that I showed you, Warrior Forum, or go to odesk.com, post a project on odesk.com, say I'm looking for somebody to create me a video bumper. And there's so many talented people on odesk.com. You'll find video editors, you'll find programmers, graphic designers, website, masters, blog experts, just the whole nine you'll find on odesk.com. It's really an invaluable resource. So write that down, guys, because that's pretty key. So part 2. But what are the most successful brands in our industry based around? Okay, so I just shared with you some way to kind of clean up the front end of your business, of your brand. But I want to get into some real psychology here, because what I just shared with you is kind of the exterior of your home, right? The exterior of your home. But if you walk in and the home is empty and a piece of crap, then, you know, people are just going to walk right out of the home. You know, they're not going to be interested in it. All great brands are based around very great stories. Okay? A great brand is based around a great story in our industry. Your story must be carefully crafted and created to impact in the most powerful way. We're going to get into this deep because this is a super important part. So how to create an amazing story, and this really is the secret to sellable brands. Okay, if you want your brand to be sellable, meaning people really, they want to buy from you, then it really starts with creating an amazing story. So when you're starting out, you must leverage your success slash results as fast as possible. Okay, and I'm going to give you some real world examples of how I actually did it. So here's an example. I generated 10 leads a day in less than 2 weeks, okay? Made my first sale within 5 days of joining. My first 13,000 in 7 months, etc. You're looking for ways that you can create a story, okay? So it does not matter where you're at right now. It could be had my first 100 Facebook friends in 7 days. You know, had 10 new contacts a day on Facebook from the first 48 hours of starting. Had, you know, 10 leads a day coming in within my first 3 weeks. Specific things like that. Now, is that going to appeal to somebody who has 20 leads a day? No, it's not going to appeal to somebody who has 20 leads a day. But guess what? You're not trying to appeal to that person. The story, your story appeals to people who are more or less under your story, who are under the results that you yourself have created, okay? The good news about that is 95 to 97% of every single person. Every single person, 95 to 97% have not created results. So when you actually get out there and start taking action and creating results, merely by leading with the story of whatever the heck results you've created, you are creating a sellable brand, a sellable story that makes people desire what you have and what you know how to do. Because that brand new person who is just learning about all of this, who hasn't generated 10 new Facebook contacts in a day, or hasn't generated, you know, 10 leads in a day within 3 weeks of starting, they're interested in what you think is a trivial little thing, okay? And a lot of times this is a major mistake people make. They see, you know, other people out there saying, I made 200 grand, or I made this, or I made that, and they think, oh, nobody's going to listen to you till you've made a lot of money, but who am I? I haven't made a lot of money, so nobody's going to listen to me. That's just a bullcrap story that people have made up, and it's not true, okay? The fact of the matter is, the movers and shakers don't sit around believing that story. They're too busy trying to get results so that they can leverage the story of the results into a brand, whatever the heck that story may be. That was me, all right? I got started on the internet and I said, you know, I didn't talk about the fact that I spent 2.5 months clicking in a traffic exchange every single day, clicking so that other people in a traffic exchange who were also clicking would see my website. I did not go around saying I spent 2.5 months clicking stupid links so other people who were clicking links would also get to see my website in this giant traffic exchange, which is kind of the most ridiculous traffic strategy I've ever heard of. That's not what I led with. What I led with was within 7 days of launching my website on the internet, I was generating over 10 leads a day, which was the truth, because I spent 2.5 months clicking in Traffic Swarm to get credits so that other people clicking could look at my website. And within 7 days of launching my website in Traffic Swarm, I started generating about 10 leads a day. And I was like, holy crap, that's really cool. So what did I do? I led with that story. Now here's what's even cooler. In about 2 weeks, I made my first sale. So I had my first sale in my business from those leads I was generating in about 2 weeks. So then I changed my story from being, yeah, I know how to generate 10 leads a day, to I made my first sale within 2 weeks of doing this. So now, again, think about that. Is that some like giant guru claim? I made my first sale in 2 weeks. Is that a guru claim? No stinking way. But for 95 to 97% of the people, they want that. They want their first sale. It doesn't matter when the heck you made your first sale. They just want their first sale. So your story is appealing to them. It's attractive to them. It's something that they see as desirable. Again, I just want to really ingrain in here, how important it is to craft an attractive story, and also get rid of any of the limitations that say you can't, because you can, and you lead with whatever the heck result you get. So your story should be the tale of any traditional hero, okay, i.e., what were your initial failures, struggles, depressing moments, obstacles you had to overcome to be where you are? And you really weave these into a story of triumph, okay? Even if it's just a triumph of leads, the triumph of one new partner, a light at the end of the road, or a 7-figure income, find a way to triumph. And I had my story on such lockdown, even when I was just starting out. I'm really kind of grateful that somehow I just did this stuff kind of intuitively. But I remember I used to tell people my story. I'd be like, I spent 9 months trying every single thing you could imagine that my upline told me, what to do in my business, and nothing worked. Absolutely nothing worked. I was miserable. I was depressed. I didn't know what to do. And one day I stumbled onto the internet. I found this rinky-dinky little ad on the side of the page, and I got one idea from this ad. Okay, I didn't really want, it sounded kind of bad and hypey, but I got this one idea, which was generating leads on the internet for my business. And that one idea, when I took action on it, within 2 weeks, I had generated almost 100 different leads for my business on the internet from launching, my lead capture page. So in that simple little way, even though it's nothing massive, you can see that that's a story of triumph. It's kind of like the story of the hero. That's what everybody wants, guys. And no one starts out successful. Let me turn a light on here real quick. It's getting dark in my office. No one starts out successful, okay? You just don't do it. It's impossible. How do you start successful? So again, I don't like to buy any of these, just whiny excuses, which is really what they are. When people are like, oh, but he made this, and what do I have? Stop whining, okay? Nobody starts out successful. I was no different. I was this little punk, miserable, struggling kid, okay? But what I did is I leveraged each tiny little success that I created from the start of my business right into a multiple 7-figure income. And I'm going to give you an example of how I did that. At first, I said, I know how to generate leads. And then I said, I made my first sale within 2 weeks. And then about 4 months later, or 5 months later, I had my first $3,000 month in my business because I signed up a bunch of people in my business. They signed up some people. I hit the bonus pool. I had a $3,000 month in my business, and all of a sudden it wasn't, I generated leads. I made my first sale. Now it was within 6 months, I had my first $3,000 month in my business. And then I had a $13,000 month in my business, and it was within 8 months, I had a $13,000 month in my business. So you see that I kept on scaling up my story. Every time I had a better result to share and a bigger aspect of my story that would really would convey more success about me, I shared it. So I was constantly scaling my story. And I pretty much did that right into a 7-figure income. Each time we had a new, really cool result to share, that became kind of the leading triumph of the story. The struggling stayed the same. I have not changed the part of my story that was struggling, that was, effort and depression and sadness and grief and doubt. That's part of the story has never changed. But the triumph, I keep scaling up. The more triumph I experience, the more I scale my story. And remember that your story really is your brand. So here's some ways to share your story. On webinars that you host for your prospects, anytime you're hosting a webinar and people don't know you, you should do a quick intro. Hey, here's my name. Here's my story. It should be 60 to 90 seconds. In fact, your story should literally be your elevator pitch. Like, you want to develop a 60 to 90 second story that you can just share anywhere you go, on webinars, on teleseminars, on conference calls, in videos you make, in blog posts you write, your About Me section on your blog, your bio on your Facebook, etc. Those are all great places to share your story. But I'm telling you right now, you're going to find a lot of places to share your story. I share my story everywhere. Every time I'm invited on a webinar for any guest, I share my story, interviews, videos, trainings, I mean, teammates, closing, on the phone. You're going to be sharing your story everywhere. So you really want to focus on creating a compelling story for yourself, because that's the meat and potatoes of a really good brand. So seriously, the more powerful of a story that you create, the more attention you're going to have of the marketplace. Story equals attention. Story equals attention. Think of old grandpa sitting around a campfire telling a good story and everybody's listening. So I hope you get how important your story is. Let's get into part 3, instant authority / celebrity branding. Okay, here's a way to increase your brand instantaneously. Number 1, align yourself with top names. Okay, get associated with top people. Okay, if you make stuff happen, you will get noticed. I'm going to give you some very clear examples. What we look for within our community, you may, and you guys probably know this if you're part of our 7-Figure Networker system, or you've been on our, learning from us in any which way whatsoever. We are constantly looking for talent. Okay, we're always looking for somebody who's out there making it happen. Okay, when we find these people, we invite them to do a training for us. We invite them to lead something. Okay, so maybe they host a webinar, maybe they put together a training, maybe they create a video testimonial, whatever it might be. But all of these things get your name aligned with top people. And now when somebody sees you leading a webinar for so-and-so, or on a video testimonial for so-and-so, or friends and talking with so-and-so, it boosts your credibility. So getting on webinars for top names, hosting trainings, leading classes, these are huge ways to build a brand. And we've really rocketed many of our students to a higher class just from doing trainings for us personally. I mean, there's a lot of people who are known amongst a larger part of the online network marketing community just because they've done trainings for us. So again, that's a simple way to align yourself with top names. Get pictures with people at events, post them on your Facebook and your blogs, etc. I remember when I went and I hung out with Richard Branson. I had never hung out with people like this in my life before. Branson is the coolest billionaire on the planet. I was at this star-studded celebrity event. I had pictures with Branson, I had pictures with Paula Abdul, I had pictures with Eben Pagan and Mari Smith, and just a lot of super successful people. I even ran back and put those things on my Facebook right away. You know what I mean? And I had 100 comments of people with that picture with me and Branson, man. People were like, "You little punk, I can't believe you're hanging out with Branson." And instantly, puts me in another category, rockets my brand again. Oh, damn, Jonathan's not really playing around. Here he is hanging out with freaking Richard Branson. You want to do the same thing. Get pictures with top people at events, post them on your Facebook and blogs, which kind of leads into you really need to be at events. Events are very key to get to. Events are where you meet top people, so get there. Try to get interviews with top people, and just all around build your relationship with the A players. Okay, you want to just focus on building relationships with A players, interviewing up and coming people. Even if people don't know somebody, let's say you interview, I'll give an example, Rachel Jackson. Rachel, she's been doing great recently. We've been featuring her in a lot of our trainings. She's part of Get Traffic 3.0. She's really up and coming, right? But it's not like she's a guru. She doesn't have a guru brand and all these different things yet. yet she has an amazing story. So you don't need to, just interview a guru or anything like this. Interview people with amazing stories and share those interviews with your prospects, with your Facebook following, with anybody who's following you on your blog. Because what happens is, even if people don't know the person you're interviewing, if the person you're interviewing has an amazing story and is successful, then what's it do for you? It rockets you into that class. It rockets you up into vibration with these people who have amazing stories and are very successful. So you don't even need to go after just gurus and crap like that. Anybody who has a cool story, interview them and get associated with them. And by association, your brand is just going to continue to increase. So all around, build relationships with the A players. How are we doing here, guys? Are you guys getting a lot of value out of this? Are you seeing a whole bunch of ways? I want to see hands raised. If you're getting a lot of value right now, raise your hand, raise your hand. Light bulbs going off for really how to kind of take your brand to the next level and increase. Just, oh, dude, you guys are raising a lot of hands. I love it. I love it. How's the energy? You still feeling excited? Do we need to take a little break? Do I need to make you guys like dance around or anything? Like hop around your room and get your energy flowing, or do you feel pretty good? Can we keep going here? Let's see. Michael, we're good. All right, excellent. I'm feeling the energy is pretty good right now too. I'm not really feeling much of a stagnant energy, so we'll just keep going. We'll keep going if GoToWebinar decides to comply. So here's an instant branding #1 strategy. Conduct your own launch, okay? Conducting your own launch is literally, well, I'll just read this. Launches are the fastest ways to get credibility in your prospects' eyes, create an amazing story, get awesome results, and move up in the marketplace as a true player, okay? And I'm not sure how many people were part of our original MLM Launch Formula course when we released it about 5 months ago now. Geez, almost 6 months ago now. But launches are something that are pretty simple to execute. You can pull off a launch fairly easily, and it is a great way to really build an amazing story. I'll use one of our wonderful students, Amanda Marie, as an example. Amanda Marie came through MLM Launch Formula, and she's fairly new at everything, had never really done a launch or anything like this before, hadn't really done some super big numbers or anything before. She followed our launch formula process. She got something like 30 people to show up to a webinar, and out of that 30 people, she closed 6 people into a personal coaching package that she created to help people with their social media marketing and all this other stuff. It was a great value, amazing value. It was only $500, but here's what is amazing about that. She made $3,000 in a single night. Okay, first time she ever tried this crap. First time ever she makes $3,000 in a single night. Now I'm going to tell you what's far more valuable than making that $3,000 in a single night is the story of making $3,000 in a single night. Because now, for the rest of time, Amanda's going to be able to say, I made $3,000 in a single night after spending 90 minutes, of work on a webinar. And 99.99% of people probably out there are going to say, that is freaking awesome. I want to know how to do that. Teach me, Amanda. That story is going to pretty much make her money and really leverage her for the rest of time. So highly recommend conducting some sort of simple launch. Just, and actually, I'm going to cover more of this in Get Traffic 3.0, specifically in Module 5. I talk about webinars and how to promote webinars from Facebook, etc., and sell stuff from webinars. And that's really one of the most amazing ways to create results and create a story, because it just does not take a lot of numbers. It's really simple to get 10, 20, 30 people on a webinar just by promoting it, via Facebook and internally, and you can create some big numbers with that. So part number 4, the quality of your contributions/content to the marketplace. Now, this is a very key part of creating $1 million brand. Now, honestly, this is the only long-term way to build a relationship slash brand with your prospects. Okay, I'm talking about the quality of your content in the marketplace. You have to deliver value that simply changes their life. It's just that simple. Create and deliver real, life-changing content, and people will love you for it. They will absolutely love you for it. So content is the true means by which you build a relationship with your prospects. And it's really the only thing that, if you do correctly, is needed to have a great brand with your prospects. And I'm not kidding. I mean, there's people out there who, like, let's take MLM Watchdog, for instance, Rod Cook. I absolutely love Rod Cook, right? He's a friend of mine. He's great. He's an industry veteran, 40 years in the industry, well known. His website literally looks like it's from 1992. Okay, I don't think he's updated his website in the last like 20 years. You know what I mean? But he's got a great reputation in the industry, an amazing reputation in the industry because of what he puts out, because of the quality of his contributions and the content that he makes to the marketplace. He has a stellar reputation. Everybody loves Rod Cook. He's a legend. You know what I mean? So, you could mess up other stuff, but as long as the quality of your contributions to the marketplace is really good, then you'll still be really good. However, if you do all of this correctly, then you build a rock star $1 million brand like me. This is me doing the money dance. None of you guys can see it, but I'm doing a little money dance right now. So yes, I recommend that you do everything I'm saying here tonight correctly. But if you only did part 4 correctly, it's still going to make a huge difference to your brand. So here's the keys to building a lifelong brand through your content. Number 1, consistency. Consistency. You must be in front of your prospects on a daily/weekly basis. If you slack in consistency, they will forget about you. They will forget about you. I'm sorry, but we are just not that important. If I didn't send you an email for a year, you guys would forget about me too, okay? We respect those who are consistent, okay? And I want to use my own story as an example. I have literally not taken a single slack in consistency since the moment that I have started building my business. Since the moment I started, since the first moment I stepped foot on the internet, there has never been a week where I have waned in my consistency. I am constantly creating blog posts. I am constantly writing emails. I am constantly, consistently showing up for my students, for my prospects, for my people. That's just the deal. That's what I do. So I've become a rock for people to lean on and always look to for support. And I really hope that at the end of the day, if all else has failed in inspiration, I am still there telling you that you can do it. I am still there making videos because I care, sharing knowledge, sharing value, sharing whatever I possibly can. You should do this too, because that level of consistency will turn you into a rock that people can trust, that people can rely on, and that people know is the real deal. So sometimes people get involved and they start building a list and they're sending emails and they're excited, and then they drop out for 3 months. Oh, I got distracted, or I'm tired, or blah, 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 blah. Every time you do that, you ruin your brand. Now, you know what you look like to your prospects? A flake. I'm just going to be honest, a flake. And we've all done this before. We're all guilty. We've all had moments in our life when we have flaked, and we know what it is for whatever reason. But it's important to own it. It's important to own that we can't be flakes. You have to be consistent in life and in business if you're going to show up and make something. You just got to do it. Number 2, focus on educational, inspirational, enlightening, entertaining, uplifting, empowering, cutting edge, and value-packed content. Okay? And I'm going to go into this a lot more in future training, specifically in our second bonus class called Feed Your Following. I'll go into this a lot more, but you want to send about 2 to 3 emails per week to your list. I recommend that as a great starting off point. It's very consistent. About 2 to 3 emails per week to your list. always be creating new videos, blog posts, Facebook posts, notes, and other forms of content to give away to them. Okay, so you always want to be giving away stuff to your list. This enacts the law of reciprocity, which is the easiest way to get money is to have other people want to send it to you. I mean, seriously. I know that's a very foreign concept for most. We don't even have a real kind of definition for what does it feel like for other people to want to send me money. But trust me, you can actually create such a thing. That's what this process will do for you when you're constantly giving to your following and giving to your people. They're going to want to send you money. If you give more than 99% of everyone else gives, you will be remembered, okay? You will be remembered. Just focus on giving as much as humanly possible. I know it goes without saying, but I still need to say it. These are the things that could ruin your brand, okay? Don't say stupid stuff. Try to shy away from sensitive stuff like politics, religion, or anything that really insults people or separates you from them, okay? You always want to be a unifier, not a divider. A unifier, not a divider. Your purpose is to bring people together. And it really doesn't matter what your beliefs are. Your beliefs could be any darn thing in the world. But if you're gonna say something that's gonna separate you from other people, it's a dumb thing to say. Even if you think it's a smart thing to say, there's too much division in the world already. There's too much conflict. There's too much us versus them. Just on a human scale, we need a lot more unifying right now, a lot less division. We need a lot more coming together, a lot less polarity. People need to learn how to solve their differences, not fight because of them. So shy away from stuff that is dividing and divisive. Always be a unifier. Do not promote stupid programs or quick make money cheap crap, okay? This will ruin your brand with any real players instantly if they see you promoting that type of stuff, okay? The real players are the long term in this industry, okay? They're the long term. The get rich quick people, they come and go fast. So if you're promoting the newest, program that's on the market or some sort of cheesy website that I've outlined at the beginning of this presentation, meaning if you have a website that was part of the do not do's section of this presentation, you are never going to be a real player in this industry long term, ever. Because the only people that your stuff is going to appeal to are quick little get rich people that are here today, gone tomorrow. So it's not fun. And you'll never be a real player. So you don't want to promote that stuff. If you promote that stuff, it really, you may make some money, you may get people to join you, but I'm telling you, long term, it's not worth it. Don't be a company hopper. That can get dangerous too, although sometimes it's called for. But try to avoid it if you can, because the worst is when you see people go from one company to another, to another, to another, to another. I mean, I've literally had people pitch me on a new company every 2 months, and I'm just saying to myself, are you kidding me? Every 2 months you have a new company. Why in God's name would I join you? You have done nothing but show me that you aren't successful with these other companies, haven't committed. What is going to be different about this new one you're pitching me on? You know what I mean? So it's important just to really recognize that consistency is the most important thing in this industry. If people see that you're very consistent and then you decide to go to a new company, they're going to be listening a heck of a lot more than if you flaked on, if you flake, they're not going to listen. So consistency is really the key. So here's part 5, and this has a lot to do with, really module 1 of Get Traffic 3.0, which was released today. So you guys are really going to have a major head start in this whole thing. But interaction with your community. This is a great way to build your brand. So again, I highly recommend that you start a Facebook fan page here, which obviously all of you guys already are going to start, or probably already have started your Facebook fan page. You can drive all of your traffic from your blog, your emails, YouTube videos, Twitter, websites. You can pretty much link any website that you have out there to your fan page. And especially like what we're going to show you with the little fan page widget, how to put the fan page widget on all of your different websites and stuff like that. That is a huge credibility booster. Okay, people see, like, let's say they get to your blog and they see your fan page widget, or they get to your website and they see your fan page widget, and it says, you know, you've got 500 people or 1,000 people or 5,000 people following you on Facebook. That's a huge credibility booster. And plus, now people, it gets all that traffic on your website back to your fan page. So we're going to cover that, you know, that whole how to do that in upcoming parts of Get Traffic 3.0. But the fan page is the perfect place to post new content, to share your life and your story, to develop relationships with your prospects, and really to stay consistent in your best prospects' lives on a daily basis. And that's why you see me pretty much constantly posting stuff on my fan page all the time. And really your best prospects are going to be following you, are going to be plugged in to your fan page. So it's a key part of a branding strategy nowadays that really lets people know you're down to earth and accessible. So even if they see your fancy pantsy logo or your great capture page or your video with some super sexy bumper, and they think to themselves, man, this person's a hotshot, they probably don't have the time for me or whatever. But then you tell them, hey, come hang out with me on my fan page, and now they're talking to you and all sorts of other stuff. It's really just a very down-to-earth, accessible way to interact with all prospects and people you're meeting on the internet. And hey, here's another thing. Fan pages build social proof. I mean, if you just come over here and look at this, this just goes to show you guys how awesome the Get Traffic 3.0 training is that you're going through right now, because when I took this screenshot, you can see over there, I highlighted 9,066 people. That was literally about 2 months ago. It was literally like 2 or 3 months ago I took that screenshot. Now that's over almost 18,000 people. We've almost doubled the amount of fans on this page in literally, like, you know, the last 60 to 90 days. But check it out. I mean, if you look at your fan page, there's all this stuff happening, and there's all sorts of social activity. So fan pages build a lot of social proof, which again builds your brand. So social proof equals credibility. Your prospects see you interacting with lots of people. They see lots of conversations going on. What happens is you become more real, you become more friendly, you become more likable, and all around you just become more credible. And I've got one last piece of amazing advice here before we wrap up this class tonight. Try to be the first to introduce new information, ideas, and concepts to the marketplace. And this could just be such simple things like, you know, I'll talk about this more in Feed Your Following, but if you see a new article or a new something gets, you know, released on Google or whatever it is, if it's new information, try to be the first to share it with your people. Because what's going to happen is it shows them that you are completely tuned in to what's happening at the leading edge. So it shows them that you are a mover and shaker. You're tuned in. You're knowledgeable. If you're sharing information that's old news, well, then it kind of tells people that you're old news. So if you're the first to share a revolutionary idea with someone, or a new tactic, a new strategy, a tool, breaking news, or anything, it really puts you in the bracket of being with it, okay? You are the cutting edge, and you become a trusted source of information and news. Technically, you become a player. You're just moving yourself more into that bracket of being a player, and we listen to those people. We listen, okay? We respect, we're listening, we're paying attention to those people who are sharing information this way. And there's so many people that I can think of in my community, in our community, who are like this, and you know, have just kind of built that a little brand for themselves, and a brand for themselves just because of their willingness to just share new information, and I see them getting recognized by other people a lot for it all the time. Richard Bravo is definitely coming to mind right now. Richard's just an amazing individual who I always see sharing really cool information, and it's just a nudge to look for ways you can share information with people first. That's all I want to do here, just kind of nudge you in that direction so that you can kind of capture the benefits, glean the benefits of really being the first to share information. So if you follow even half of the tips, insights, and advice that I gave you today for how to build a brand in this industry, you will smoke your competition, okay? Most people never break into originality. They stay stuck in cookie cutter and copying. That's really what they do. Now, when you take action on the notes here today, you will differentiate yourself from this crowd, all right? Branding is the key to commanding top-tier partners in your life and a high value for your products, services, or time. Follow my guidance here tonight, my friends, and you will most definitely see results. And that's what I got for you here. Don't worry if you missed the class or if you came on late or anything like that. I know that we maxed out and a lot of people were having trouble getting in the class. We've got the whole thing recorded. We'll have it posted in the back office of Get Traffic 3.0 literally within the next 48 hours. I've got time. I've got some time here. Let's say time for 2 questions. Although I'll tell you, I'm not super impressed with GoToWebinar tonight. There we go. I can actually see these questions here. Intro videos. John Walker said, oh, that's gone. Are you going to release a new version of MLM launch format? Shouldn't I create a Facebook for my company and just a personal one for me? Oh man, these are coming in fast. Okay, so man, I can't even keep up. Stop asking questions. I can't even read the other questions. They're changing too fast. Wow. I don't think that's going to work, the whole stop asking questions thing. Let me see if I can go back here and find a good question here. Dude, what is up with GoToWebinar tonight? It is like technologically impaired evening. Come on, little GoToWebinar. I know you can do it. I know you can scroll. Don't kid like you can. All right, so Catherine asked a question. If someone doesn't have a lot of money, what is the best thing we should do? Well, I'm trying to really feel into this question here, Catherine. Obviously, just the quality of your content, that section totally applies. I mean, that has nothing to do with money. It just has to do with your content. However, what I would advise is probably setting up a blog is very important. So setting up a blog is pretty darn affordable. We have a service for like $200. You can set up a blog, which is like super cheap. I would maybe get a logo made. A logo is going to run you a little bit more though. It's probably going to be about $200 to $400 for a really good, like nice quality logo. So that may not be the first thing you want to do. First thing I would do is really set up a blog. Setting up a blog is a great place to start with your brand because then you can post content and all sorts of stuff like that and share it with people on Facebook, etc. And really just get the process going. And then as you get more money for your budget and or make more money in your business to spend on your business, then you can get a logo. And a lot of these other things, I mean, it's not expensive. Like, you're not talking about a lot of money here. I mean, it's not expensive. Like getting a bumper for your Your video could cost you $10 if you find the right person on Odesk. It could cost you $50. I mean, it's not expensive stuff. So I would just review this class when we post it again, and focus on the main ones that you want to focus on, my dear. Oh my goodness, this is so slow. Is it better to brand yourself as opposed to your opportunity? That's a great question, Doug. And absolutely, it is better to brand yourself as opposed to your opportunity. People can't connect with an opportunity. There's no relationship that they have with a generic name of a company. But people can have a relationship with you. And what's even more important is that were that company to change, as long as you're building your brand, then the people who respect you and who follow you and who recognize your brand, will still be sold on you, not the company, on you. And that's really what you want. You want people sold on doing business with you, because then it doesn't matter where the heck you go. People are going to want to do business with you. I'll take one more question, my friends. Then I need to get some food here, and this GoToWebinar is extremely frustrating right now anyway. Where do you get friends to build up your personal page before starting your fan page? That's what you're going to learn in Module 4, Misty. You guys have a lot of questions tonight. It's a fine line on Facebook not to look like a sales guy. How do you do that? I like that question, Catherine. Here's how you do it. It's first off, I want you to observe the people that you respect on Facebook who are marketers, but you respect them and you like them and you follow them. What is it about what they do that makes you like them, that makes you respect them, and then makes you like to follow them? What is it about what they do? How is it that they're coming off? What type of things are they posting? How do they carry themselves? Just observe them, because really what makes a person successful on Facebook and building a following while at the same time making money, is really the ability to be authentic, the ability to share aspects of themselves, and the ability to give their gifts, give their value, right? It's all about really just giving your gifts, giving your value. That's what creates that sort of natural relationship where somebody says, I know you, I like you, I want to hang out with you. And when that feeling is present, then you win. You've done good. You've accomplished what you've needed to do. And the most important thing is making sure that you maintain that feeling. Okay? It's maintaining that feeling. And if you're pitching too much or selling too much, that feeling will start to degrade. So it's just a careful balance, and again, we're going to talk about this more in Feed Your Following, but it's a careful balance of just showing up, saying to myself, how can I give to people? How can I enrich in people's lives? How can I share my value with others in a way that's meaningful to them? and then now and then just dropping in the stuff that makes you money, dropping in the links that makes you money. And again, we're going to cover all of this in much more detail in upcoming classes, but that is a strong gist of it right then and there. So, my friends, again, Mr. Jonathan Budd signing off here. I so apologize for earlier this evening with the mess up with the class times. All of my classes for the last few months have been 6 p.m. Pacific, so totally don't know what was going on there. I just assumed 6 p.m. Pacific, but in any case, we got this whole thing recorded. We're going to have it in the back office within 48 hours. I super appreciate all of you so stinking much for being here, for being on the line, and for investing in yourself to grow your business and to go after. Just go for the gusto. I just love it. I love the fact that you're here, and I love the fact that you're doing it. I personally thrive in that environment, and I know that you will thrive in that environment, and that's what we're here to do for each other, is to just perpetually create that culture of going for the gusto, the culture of just maximizing our potential and really shooting to be the best that we can possibly be. And when we live life from that place, there is no stopping us from manifesting what we truly want. So, my friends, Mr. Jonathan Budd signing out. Much love to you all, and I will be back to speak with you soon. Ciao.